Oh my god, I just heard a juicy gossip that you are finally ready to go to gym. If that's correct, we need to talk right now. Let's first just be clear on something. If you're not here for the long run and to lift weights for the rest of your life, we are not a good match. If you decide to continue this conversation with me, I really need you to understand that in this moment in life, you are not a bodybuilder who trains 5 to 6 days a week or someone who gets paid to work out. You are here where you are, maybe in the future that happens for you. Right now, you are just a beginner. Embrace it. And what's good about it, you have only 2 goals. First one is to absolutely master foundational exercises, and second, stay consistent. Without that, you cannot progress and you cannot do whatever people you admire are doing. No skipping steps, because you will end as I did way back. Exercise I will show you in a bit. But first, let's talk about consistency. I touched briefly the topic of behavior-based goals in my previous video, and now I will elaborate. There are 2 types of goals: outcome-based goal and behavior-based goal. We all have outcome-based goals. Lose 10 kilograms, grow bigger butt and legs. Who does that? But behavior-based goals are quite often neglected, I would say. And without behavior goals, we cannot achieve outcome goals. When you want to make a change, it's advised to take 2 behavior-based goals, and those are just the steps we need to take to get to that outcome-based goal, okay? Stay with me. It's not that complicated. So you decide 1 or 2 things you will start implementing in your life, and if you manage for 2 weeks, you can add something new. But before you start, you need to ask yourself, how likely is it that I will stick for 2 weeks to 2 particular things I decided? 1 to 10. If your score is less than 8, you need to reduce that behavior. And if it's 9 or 10, go for it. Okay? So right now, I, as your fitness advisor, because let's be honest, you cannot pay for a personal trainer, that's why you're here, and no judgment. Rarely who can pay personal trainer these days. And when I was starting, I couldn't pay for gym clothes, so you're fine. I advise you to have only 2 goals, behaviors that you will do for 2 weeks. 1 is doing 1 strength weightlifting training. And second is to write down name of the exercise, weights, sets and reps. You can put it in your phone. You can find a fancy, beautiful notebook that will motivate you and you will look cool in the gym, like you know what you're doing. But you have to do it. Otherwise, you cannot track your progress. You can get stronger, but you need your numbers, people. After 2 weeks, when you say, oh my God, this is so easy, only 1 workout and just writing down, no, you need to make some progress. I'll explain in a bit. Then week 3 and 4, you can do the same workout twice per week, okay? With minimum 1 day break in between. Maybe better even 2, okay? So that's first month. Nothing crazy, but remember, you are here for the rest of your life. You're stuck with me. You will be in the gym for the rest of your life. So 1 month compared to the rest of your life is like nothing. If you still are hoping to get some quick fixes and results in 1 month and then you're good forever, that doesn't exist. We need to achieve goals that you can maintain for the rest of your life. And that's why the most important is to prevent you from quitting. And if I give you the absolute bare minimum to start with and slowly progress, will you not feel like a dummy if you quit from doing 1 workout per week? If you do things correctly, as I tell you, with fundamental basic exercises, without all those fancy exercises you see on the internet, and you just try to get stronger each week and doing the same, you will achieve more than if you would do every single workout bunch of other exercises, not knowing how many repetitions and without enough intensity. Okay, so I maybe know a bit what I'm talking about here because I had, let me calculate, from 2016 until today, years of trial and error because I did not have enough knowledge. And now all the wisdom is in this video for you. Okay, remember, 2 goals. 1 workout, writing down the weights. Why? Because you need to do progressive overload. It means that each week you're either doing a bit more weight, putting a bit more, or doing more repetitions. So if you're doing chest press with 15 kilograms and you did 10 repetitions, next week you're trying to do 11 repetitions or 12, maybe it's possible. Or if you suddenly feel like it's too easy, next set, increase the weight. How to choose weight to start with. To not go into some crazy calculations that you can find online, 1RM, whatever, to not confuse you, you will just sit there, if it's seated exercise, of course. You will pick weights that I will suggest as I'm explaining the exercises, and you will do 6 repetitions. If you feel like 6 is extremely easy, you can stop, put it down, take more, and then continue. Once you find weight that is intense, and we need to talk about intense, that makes the set hard for between 8 to 12 repetitions, let's just stick to that range right now, just for the sake of simplicity. If you hear other things on internet, yes, it is possible to build muscle with more repetitions and less repetitions and whatever. We want to make it simple and sustainable. Later you can do all the crazy details and learn more and blah blah blah, and then you will not need me, you will need more people who are smarter. I need them too. You need your set to be intense. What I mean by that, if you start with pressing and then your first repetition and your 12th repetition, your arm is moving the same speed, feels the same, 1 and 12, and you stop. Why the hell did you stop? Then you needed to do a lot more reps, or it doesn't count. Nope. Take more weight until you find where your last rep is this. That's intense enough. So in the beginning, you might need to play around to find your weight, but that's also fine. You need to practice the movement, and then when you find the sweet spot, you write it down. All that before doesn't count until you find the perfect match for your working set. Doesn't count. But I will put roughly what's my experience with training with women throughout the years where you should start. If for some reason that's too easy for you, you are genetic freak and awesome, go for it. Train immediately 10 times per week. I'm joking. No. Just we go step by step. And then once you completed the whole month of your bare minimum, setting the new habits and getting comfortable just being in the gym and sitting on those machines and using them and setting them and all of that, then we can talk about other things. And no, your month number 2 will not look crazy different, because guess what? Boring brings results. If you stick to it, you get stronger, you learn the movement better, you see the progress. So what we will progress is from machines to free weights, to engage more muscle, to make it harder. But right now, let's stick to machines anywhere we can to make sure you're doing it right. And of course, as always, I encourage you, go to the gym and also talk to the people who work there. Let them check your form. Let them help you. Let them give you advice. If they tell you to train more, yes, but not yet. Bare minimum for start, because yes, you remember before, long time ago, you started with 5 workouts per week, which lasted 2 weeks and it never happened again. So better 2 workouts in 2 weeks, and then we increase to 2 workouts in the 3rd and 4th week, then God knows what happens next. Well, if you stay with me, maybe I'll find time to show you how you can progress. And if not, you are on your own in this upside down of the fitness world. Oh yeah, by the way, now I will show you the exercises. Enjoy. First, I want you to do 3 to 5 minutes of cardio warm-up. You can use any machine, you can walk a bit faster, or you can jog, as long as it feels comfortable and you can speak throughout it. It's just a warm-up, you don't want to overdo it, okay? Afterwards, I want you to warm up your joints. Grab the lightest band you can find in the gym, grab it wide, and let's do just shoulder circles. 20. Okay, after that one, I always do this one. Bring the band in the line with your chest and bring your arms back to warm up your upper back muscles. And 10. Okay, good. Then one exercise that I really like for spine mobility, you go down on your knees, you support with your arm on one side, the other one hand goes onto your lower back, and then you move the shoulder towards the ceiling, open up the chest and slowly bring it down. Switch to the other side and keep moving. You try to keep your hips as steady as possible without rotating. I'll do last one. I have no clue how many I did, but approximately 10 to 20 again will be enough. And then we should progress to warming up our hips. The one that I like to do, grab something stable, keep your hip bones parallel without much movement, and then just swing leg from out to in. And other side. Okay, good. Then you can swing forward and back. Notice here, I'm not moving my spine like this, okay? So just swing your leg. Other side. Okay, good. Then a bit of hamstring warm up. If you see now my hips are in line with this line. And then I want to push my hips backwards, okay? Until I feel full stretch, and then I come up. Stretch and up. Whoop. And to warm up our knees, let's do just some body weight lunges. Feet are hip width apart. We step backwards and down. Make sure knees in line with your toes. Come up and go down. And come up. Inhale on the way down. And exhale on the way up. If you struggle to do body weight lunges, you can always grab something to help yourself come up. And that's very serious sign how much you need exercise and how much you need to strengthen those leg muscles. Now, let's start with the workout. Your first lower body exercise will be deadlifts. I want you to take 8 or 12 kilogram kettlebell to practice first. Okay? Kettlebell. You will put it in between your feet so that it stays in line with your heels. Okay, in the center of your body, yeah? And then you will keep this part of your body without movement, okay? Comes from here and here. Your spine is not moving, okay? Stabilize this part. Imagine as if you have something that prevents you from moving. I don't know what that would be. And just push your hips backwards. Now you have to simultaneously also bend knees until you reach the kettlebell. If you see, hips are still higher than the knees and upper body is almost parallel to the ground. But as I'm doing this movement, my spine doesn't change its position, okay? Spine is here, not here. So if I say there's no movement, it means that doesn't happen, okay? So once again, we push our hips backwards, simultaneously bend your knees until you're in this position. Head higher than your hips and hips higher than your knees. Okay, then you want to open up your chest, grab the weight, inhale, and with exhalation, extend your legs and hips. Inhale on the way down. You don't need to touch the ground, you only want full stretch in your glutes, and come up. Inhale on the way down. As you go down, you look down. As you come up, you look up. Okay? I would also suggest that the first time you do this exercise, you are not shy when you're in the gym and you go and ask the person who works there, hey, sorry, can you please just check my deadlift form and help me to correct something if necessary? Because people who work there are paid for that. I love when people approach me to help them, and especially when someone is new and motivated, it's very important that you do it correctly, especially deadlifts. Amazing exercise, but you have to master the steps, okay? The form has to be perfect. And then when you master the form and you see that with 12 kilograms, you can do 15 repetitions without barely feeling it, that's a sign you need to increase the weight, okay? So this is exercise for the glutes and hamstrings and isometrically your back muscles, entire core, because when you're holding the weight in your arms, it cannot be that your spine stays like spaghetti, okay? The muscles needs to work, so that's amazing. Also, don't forget, kettlebell is in line with your heels. If it goes too much forward, you need a lot more back muscles. Here we want focus on legs and glutes, and especially if you're a beginner, this might just make you round your spine and lift like this, and no one knows that. As a beginner in deadlifts, you will use 8 or 12 kilogram kettlebell until we're sure your form is perfect, okay? Then you can put something, as I took these plates, to make it easier to access easier access to your kettlebell. Your first upper body exercise is chest press. Find chest press machine in your gym. I'm using this pad because here we cannot adjust the seat. The goal is to have these handles, these ones, not the narrow ones, that's for future, approximately in line with your chest, okay? Again, spine neutral, you're not rounding, you want to engage the core, and you want your wrists straight. Elbows, don't flare them out, you want them slightly down, okay? Like 45 degrees. Then you will inhale, and with exhalation, press the weight away from you. Chest machines can be different, but the movement is the same and all the rules are the same. For example, here I need to adjust this. I hit myself so I can go even deeper. The goal is to bend your elbows a bit behind your shoulders, okay? You don't want to go too deep that it's super uncomfortable for your shoulders, okay? Exhale, inhale, exhale. Control the movement on the way down and push. Many machines in the gyms also have like a thing on the ground that you can push, which means that the moment you put your foot on the thing, you are overtaking the weights. So then you can drop the weights without putting your upper body in uncomfortable position. Okay? But that's it. We want straight wrists. We want elbows 45 degrees. We are extending arms and bending. That's it. Exercise for chest, shoulders, triceps. Okay? Your second lower body exercise will be leg press. It's the most important to find a position that allows you to bend your knees enough for the optimal range of motion. For that reason, I'm using this pad. Otherwise, my knee bends only to 90 and the weights already drop. It means that I'm not under the load anymore, and I want to be under the load, and I want you to be under load. So put the seat so far that allows your mobility to bend your knees and hips without arching in your lower back. Okay? Nice and tight position. Knees in line with your toes. Your feet hip width apart. Then you can play, if you want more glute engagement, you put your legs where shins are vertical, or if you want more quad movement, quad activity, then you go lower so that your shin is kind of diagonal, okay? But the most important is inhale, embrace your core, and exhale, extend your legs, keep your knees slightly bent in this position. Inhale, slow and controlled, bend, and exhale, okay? Inhale, and exhale. Press your lower back into the seat. As I said, you don't want to go into a position where your hips here round, go inside, and your spine, instead of being like this, rounds in your lower part. Okay, your next upper body exercise is seated rows. So you need to find seated rows machine that looks different than this one, but it's the same position of your body. You sit this direction, you find the position of this seat down so that the seat in front of you is not uncomfortably pressing your chest so you cannot breathe, or your stomach, you want to puke, okay? It's here to make you feel safe and strong and help you with the movement, not make this whole experience a lot worse than it has to be. Okay, then also it's very important that you can fully extend the arms until you reach the handles. If the handles are too close and you're not using the full potential of your back muscles, it means you need to move this seat, okay? So that you can do it optimally. Okay, then we want spine neutral. We are not rounding it, okay? Neutral position of your spine. Grab the handles. Full stretch. You let the shoulder blades here go a bit further apart, and then with exhalation, move the weight, your elbows backwards. Slowly extend. Control the movement. Don't let the weight just drop. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We are moving our elbows close onto our body. Even if the machine has this version here, now for you in this month, you want to stay in this movement. Okay, one more time. Inhale and exhale. Control and exhale. Okay, that's seated row for your amazing back muscles. Okay? And the last exercise with weights for you will be standing shoulder press, okay? I know you can do it also seated, but we are doing it standing for specific reasons that are more functional for your body. There will be plenty of time in the future for do specific bodybuilding exercises for specific muscles, okay? Good. Now, I want your feet hip width apart because you want to be stable. Knees slightly bent. You don't have to lock them like this, okay? You just want to be very cool and chill, but also very stable, yeah? So what I also don't want you to is round your spine. No one wants banana back, okay? You want that core muscles engaged. If your belly is like this, that's not engaged. Okay? Then you will bring the weight where your elbows are again making 45-degree angle with your body. Your fingers, your palms are faced forward. And then you will press up in line with your head. You're not too far forward or too far behind. And you go slowly down and up. Down and up. Okay? Again, spine is neutral and very much stable. No one wants to be unstable. If there's one thing you will memorize from this video, don't be unstable. Not good. And to make this even more boring but even more optimal for you, you will do some core work when you finish with the weights. I will keep it simple and effective. You're starting on your back. First exercise. Put the chin down, bring the head up. Here you should already feel your muscles working. If you cannot keep your head like this, if it's very painful in your neck, please grab your head and rest the neck in your hands. Okay. Then, if you can go up, you will bring the feet, you will hold this position. If it's super easy, you can try extend your legs without arching in your lower back. You want these muscles to be working, which means you reduce the distance from your chest and the hips, like squeezing it here, okay? And then you go down as far as you can. And once you find a position where it's possible for you to keep this neutral position and abs working without arching, you will hold it for 30 seconds. If for you that's less, you start where you are, write it down. Next week you will try more. Next exercise will be side plank. Nothing fancy, boring but effective, believe me, and it's not forever. Elbow and your shoulder in one line, easier version. You're bringing hips up while being on your knees. Okay, we want our obliques working. Everything else is very neutral. Hips parallel and pointed this direction. So you're not rotating to one side or the other. Or alternatively, of course, if you can, you go up and you start here. Then, of course, you do the same on the other side. I will not show it, it's the same. I'm not working out right now. Last one will be bird dog. You will find position where your wrist, elbow, and shoulder are in one line. Your knees are 90 degrees, but the most important is position of your spine. No, we are not in this position. We want neutral, okay? Slight curve here, core engaged, head where your spine is, not here. Then without moving your hips, without losing the position of your spine, you will simultaneously extend arm on one side and leg on the other side. Looks easy, it is not, because your body will want to fall down, will want to rotate, and you don't want to let it, okay? So you're working here to keep your spine in the same position and your hips, okay? You hold it again for 30 seconds. If it's less, it doesn't matter, and then we will progress from there. Same thing, same, other side. So if you're starting with 30 seconds per each exercise, you're doing 2 rounds without break in between the exercises, which will be 5 minutes. If it's again less than 30 seconds, that's completely fine. You will progress from there. As you go higher to 45 seconds per exercise, towards 1 minute per exercise, 1 round is enough. I want you to stay inside of those 5 minutes so it's not overwhelming and you don't quit after weights and just go home, because core strength and stability is important. And you know dummy, so we'll not skip basics, which is this entire workout. Okay. That's it. I didn't make it up. Those are just basic movement patterns. That's all. And since you're still here, God bless you. That means there's potential in you, that you'll have patience to continue this. So remember, intense sets, increase every week, every exercise, and then talk to you in a month. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, get stronger, and I'll catch you in the next one.